Hey everyone, it's Pat with another edition of Increase, the lifestyle vlog for men and the women who love them. The lifestyle vlog that teaches us how that we can grow mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially. And today I want to look at something in particular. You know, it's easy for us to think about wanting to better ourselves, especially this time of year, getting to setting New Year's resolutions on how we want to change physically. We want to lose weight, or we want to shape mentally. We want to finish a degree or graduate or whatever the case may be. Socially, we want to work on our relations. And you'll find all kinds of information on the internet, on the World Wide Web, regarding those things. But, I guess I should say this too. You'll find all kinds of religious information on the internet as well. And one of the things that separates Increase from a lot of other lifestyle vlogs is that not only do we want to talk about increasing mentally or growing ourselves physically and also dealing with our relationships, but also we want to tackle some of the spiritual aspects of life as well. Now, with some people, that totally turns them off. At this point, they're totally not interested because they are not religious people at all. And folks, listen, I'm not talking about religion. I am talking about spiritualism. I'm talking about being spiritual. Whether you want to admit it or not, everyone in some form or fashion is spiritual. And so today in the video, this video is actually going to be a three-part video because of one thing I told you before, I'm going to keep my promise. I want to focus on keeping my videos 10 minutes or shorter. And so I'm going to do that, do my very best to do that. So this is actually going to be a three-part video. But the first part of this video here today, what I want to look at is what does it mean to increase spiritually? What does it mean to grow spiritually? What does it mean to actually better myself spiritually? And I thought, how can I approach this? Because I don't want to approach it just from one angle, which most people think of, the religious angle. I thought, but how can I, because again, everyone in some form or fashion is spiritual. And so I thought, well, maybe the best way to do that would be go to the dictionary and see how the dictionary defines the word spiritual. So what I did was I pulled out the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and the Merriam-Webster dictionary actually gives 4 different definitions for the word spiritual. So in this video, what I'd like to do is just look at those 4 definitions and show you how that each person born in this world today is spiritual in some form or fashion. And again, I'm going to help you remember these by alliterating this, and all of these are going to begin with the letter C. So here's the first definition that Merriam-Webster's dictionary gives us for spiritual. It says, of or relating to, consisting of, or affecting the spirit. So what word we're going to use for that begins with C is your consciousness. Your consciousness. Again, the definition is of, relating to, consisting of, or affecting the spirit. Most people would agree and not argue the point that man is a 3-part being. Obviously, we know the physical, we see the physical, these are the bodies that we live in. Then you have the spiritual part, and you have the soul. Now, in the Bible, I'll reference that here, those words are used interchangeably because they are that closely knitted together. And so for the sake of the definition here, Merriam-Webster dictionary defines this word spiritual, the consciousness, as just that. Somebody's personality, the way somebody is. We talk about somebody has school spirit. They have a lot of spirit. That's part of their personality coming out. A term that was very popular back when I was a child in the 70s. Oh, that man's got soul. Talking about his consciousness, talking about his personality. And so in that regard, that definition right there affects everyone. Everyone is spiritual in that regard because everybody has a body, everybody has a life, which we'll say that's your soul. The Bible said when God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, man became a living soul. And then you've got the consciousness, you've got that personality that has been developed. That person, that really thing that makes you, you. That's your spirit. Number 2, the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines spiritual of or relating to sacred matters, ecclesiastical rather than lay or temporal, concerned with religious values. So that's the definition that most people are going to be familiar with when they think of the word spiritual. And so for that reason, we're going to use the C word, Christian. We're going to use Christian for that definition there because, again, most of the time when people think of the word spiritual, they think of Christian, or they think of church, or they think of the Bible. And so that's the second definition. Number 3 definition from Merriam-Webster's dictionary is related or joined in spirit. Related or joined in spirit. We will call that a connection. Now, you hear this all the time. I can't be there in body, but I'll be there in spirit. Or, hey, we're on the same level. We have a connection. We have a spiritual connection. And so that term is used a lot in talking about people who connect. They're on the same level. They're spiritual in that way. And then finally, number 4, the fourth way that Merriam-Webster dictionary defines the word spiritual is of or relating to supernatural beings or phenomena or involving spiritualism. And the C word I have for that is the word creepy. Because most of the time when you see this played out, whether it be in a movie, in a story, or something like that, it usually involves the paranormal term that we use now. And most of the time it is involved, you see these creepy images of dark houses or dark basements and people being dragged away, or you see shadows and all of that. And that's the unfortunate perception that most people have of spiritualism today. Now, again, is that stuff real? I believe some of it is. But on the other hand, why is it that every time we refer to spiritualism, and that it's always got to be in that negative sense? Do I believe in angels? Yes, I do. And that's a positive side. The Bible talks about angels. The Bible also talks about demons. And so, do I believe those things exist? Yes, I do. And that is a form of spiritualism that, unfortunately, most people like to focus on. So, what's my point with all of this? We saw the 4 definitions that the Merriam-Webster dictionary gave to us. And I gave you the 4 C's. The first one is your consciousness. Number 2 is Christian. Number 3 is a connection. And the number 4 is the creepy part. But what does all that mean? Well, like I said before, whether you want to admit it or not, everyone in some form or fashion is spiritual. The second point that I have to this, though, is that no matter if it's the consciousness all the way down to the creepy, there has to be a source. And I believe there is a common source to this spiritual, whether it be definition number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I do believe there's a common source to that. And that's where I want to go from here. So my next video, and make sure you check it out, it's going to be regarding spiritualism and the Christian. What does it mean to be spiritual as a Christian? And I hope you watch it. And if you like this video and found it informative, please hit the like button down there. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you hit that little bell so when the next video is available, it'll be sent right to you. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you next video.